All right. Welcome in, everyone. Wagers on Campus, college football, week 7. That is absolutely crazy that we are already in week number 7 of the college football season. But thank you very much for tuning in and checking us out. We greatly appreciate it. We have shows dropping every Wednesday and Friday. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. And if you could share, that would be so much appreciated. But we're talking week 7 and we're talking college football. Hello, everyone. I'm Alex Mayer, and I am here with Xander.
Hello, Coach Zan.
Yeah, Coach Zan with the JG hat. Is that John Gruden?
Yeah, I think so. We'll go with that.
Where'd
Coaching
you get
tree.
it? Goodwill?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. This is just found in the closet, so happy to have it. I
Awesome.
think I'm a visor guy now.
Yeah, someone has to bring him back, right?
Yep, exactly. Some would say they never
Cool.
left, just weren't looking hard enough.
Well, we have a lot of ball to cover today, Xander, and it's hard to believe that we're quote unquote already in week number 7 of college football. But before we get into the week ahead, we will go ahead and take a look at the week that was. Myself had a light card. I went 4-2. I'll take the winning week up 0.4 units because my lock did not come through, which puts me at 2-4 on the season with locks. My lock was Alabama. Team total over 33.5 against Vanderbilt. That did not come through. But overall, I'll take the winning week. 4-2 is nice. And then you, sir, you went 11-8. You were up 3 units. You also hit your lock, which puts your season record at 3-3 with the locks, and 5-0 in the MAC for you as well. So really nice week.
Yeah, very pleased with how the week went. Split the best bets, and Texas Tech was obviously my lock. Tell you what, that was sweatier than the final score looked because Texas Tech should have had 60 in that game. I think they kicked 7 field goals. It was insane. Every time you looked, they got the ball back, but they just were settling for field goals. So that was a little bit sweatier than score led on to. So happy there. And fun fact, didn't notice this until I was kind of looking at against the spread stats. It's been 2025 has been year of Zan in his college football team following. Starting with Ohio State's playoff run at the beginning and Toledo's bowl win over Pitt, Toledo and Ohio State combined are 11-1-1 against the spread this calendar year.
That's good.
I mean, for if you fall down the rabbit hole of just betting your teams,
Right.
that's maybe the hottest streak I've ever seen for just betting on the team you like
Yeah,
and being extremely profitable off it.
no doubt. I wonder how long that will sustain. Are you going to hop on board starting this week?
Knocking on wood. Well, I've been quietly betting Ohio State week in and week out. If you've seen it on the card, their spread was on my card in one of my best bets last week, and might see that again this week, Alex.
Interesting. All right. Well, nice week for you. And our teaser hit. We went 5-0-1 on our 6-leg teaser. So, it got juiced down to 5 legs instead of 6. But that puts us at 2-3 on the year, I believe, with our teasers. And that puts us up at about 6.5 units on the year.
Yeah, just one more hit, and it should be at least break even on the entire year. And we've got 7 more weeks of regular season ball. So hitting at a pretty good clip right now. And it's just teamwork. This is literal teamwork. 3-3.
Yeah, Purdue, I had plus 16. That pushed. Kansas State plus 13 against Baylor. That was pretty easy. And Wisconsin up to plus 24. They got the job done against Michigan. So nice.
Looked like a rocking chair first half, and then all of a sudden it was just Wisconsin was playing in mud. It's quicksand, basically, is what their offense looked like.
And Let's see. Sorry, I was just pulling up the recap back up. And yeah, let's talk week 6 though. Like let's recap week 6 and just talk about what's on your mind.
Yeah, pretty interesting week, right? We had a couple big games filter out. Biggest game, man, Alabama. One of the worst beats you'll ever see. Just breaking that run on 4th and 1 with 18 seconds to go to get Vanderbilt plus 10 off the map.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, was that ugly.
Sickening.
Found out it's very easy to rile up those inbred cousin lovers down in Alabama. Uh, just imaging doesn't even exist to these people. I've got a clear image on our Twitter that Pavia's shin was very clearly down. I know not everyone watches college and NFL. You'll appreciate this. What was it last week in the NFL? We had a touched the blades of grass down, didn't touch the ground down. Is the review first time ever seeing that?
Yeah.
And yeah, so I thought he was clearly down, and then hurts himself again with another interception in the red zone later on in the game. I thought Vanderbilt easily, is splitting that game 5-5. Those teams played 10 times. Nothing overly impressed me separating Alabama and Vandy. Just Vandy made mistakes when they couldn't.
I mean, I definitely agree with you. Vanderbilt proved that they can hang and be very competitive with a team like Bama. Now it's just a matter of them getting off the mat and finding ways to win games throughout the remainder of the regular season. Because honestly, I still think that they have a shot to make the college football playoff. Like, why not? They've shown that they can be competitive and beat good teams and hang with good teams. So that's how I
Agreed.
see it. That's how I see it too.
One thing that did piss me off, though, as a Vandy backer, meaning I've got an SEC championship ticket on the line. They fell under the note. They fell under the category of one team or teams that you don't want to see when you're backing, teams that can't get under center and run a QB sneak. Like, there's nothing more frustrating as backing a team that just can't push a forward a few inches. To even have the refs give you the benefit of the doubt getting into that pile. Vanderbilt had a very key 4th and inches. Pavia's in the pistol, and they fucking lose 2 yards. You're taking the snap 4 yards back. You're running out, extending the field, 15 yards. That shit's that's not winning football, and it's very annoying.
Yep, for sure. Um, other games and news of notes. Week 6. Let's go to Florida and not Gainesville, but Tallahassee, where Miami really beat up on Florida State and I would say pretty much dominated them until leaving the door open for Florida State to make things kind of close at the end. But what are your thoughts on Miami now that they went on the road and kind of dismantled this Florida State team?
Yeah, you could say the same thing for Ohio State, lesser opponent, Minnesota, but it makes sense here. Does it feel like 2002 yet? 2001, 2002, Miami and Ohio State on a clear path.
Right.
Two best teams in the country. Man, that'd be a nice little throwback. The only issue is that 2002 Ohio State team didn't have Jeremiah Smith and a NFL caliber quarterback. So looking like Ohio State is still, I don't understand this like differential, but Miami looked very good. Don't get me wrong. Still haven't had to leave the state of Florida. Let's keep that in mind. I thought Florida State shot themselves in the foot quite a bit there to really extend that like lead, and then they score 22 in the 4th. And then Norvell kicks the field goal, kills us. Man, we almost got backdoored there, Mayor. We almost got a backdoor. Norvell kills us with the field goal down 9 at the 16-yard line, 1st and 10 with 28 seconds to go. Do I get it? Yes. But did it hurt still? Yes.
Of course, you were hoping for the miracle, and you got to taste the miracle, but you just got tantalized by it.
I mean, we did get a miracle teaser cover in there. So the teaser looked dead. Florida State plus 11 was in there.
True.
So thank God for that fourth quarter. Yeah, Miami looks good, man. They look good. Like to see a little bit more out of the run game for a complete team, but yeah, Bain coming off that edge. Beck, good quarterback, good college quarterback. What can you say?
Yeah, and then keeping it within the state of Florida, you had Florida Gators taking down Texas. I watched that game pretty much every play, and man, I got some thoughts, but like I'll keep it quick because I know we have a lot to cover. But where the hell has that Florida offense been all season long? Like that was a Florida offense that was running the ball effectively, that was throwing the ball effectively, that was playing with confidence, that was executing, that was the aggressor. Like where did that come from? That was a completely different Florida Gators team that we've seen throughout the year. They blocked a punt that got them 2 points. The defense was pretty good. Just a really, honestly, solid performance from the Gators. They played like a really perfect game for the most part. And then on the flip side, Texas, I'm not sure what happened to the defense in that game. Like, I still think Texas has a good defense, but they didn't look good against the Gators. And Texas offensively still can't run the ball, which is just such a head scratcher, truly. Cannot run the ball. And Arch, and not just Arch, but also some of the trick play that they ran. Texas missed some opportunities. Like they ran a trick play, they had a touchdown, the guy overthrew the intended receiver. Arch overthrew a couple guys on some deep balls until he was finally able to connect late. I was surprised by that outcome. Like, not necessarily Florida winning, but I guess in the fashion that they did win the game. So I just gotta. That's all I gotta say. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard an interesting blurb. I wish I could give credit to who I heard it from, but I don't remember. Consume so much content during the week. But they said something that made sense. It was just like Florida just so bad through the first 4 weeks that coming off that bye week, it's like, all right, we just don't have to do what we were doing. So it gives you 2 weeks to practice. Like, just don't do that dumb shit.
Let's try other things.
Kind of clears out a lot of the bad cobwebs of the playbook. Keep it spooky here in October. But Arch looks rushed. Like, so many opportunities to hit open receivers down the field. And he's just kind of rushing, overthrowing. Almost got Wingo killed in the first quarter, even on the one they completed. Like, has him upside down.
He's trying to be the superhero, and he deserves some blame, but the coaches and the team deserve more blame. Honestly, they cannot run the ball. They cannot protect him. He's running for his life in the pocket every other play. He's not being set up for success right now.
Yeah, big time. It's a head scratcher for sure.
If Arch was on Ohio State right now, I think we'd be having a different conversation.
I would agree.
And that's not a slight against Julian Sayin in the least.
Yeah. I just don't think his offensive line is that. I think this is all on Sark and play calling right now.
Let's go out to the West Coast.
Oh boy.
UCLA 42, Penn State 37. It's a real score that actually happened.
And Penn State never had the lead.
Thoughts?
Wow. Wow. Man.
Right.
Yeah, this is a truly unbelievable finish here. And I think man, good for UCLA getting off the mat, not defeated. Let's talk. This is a perfect segue to the biggest losers and winners for the week, because I want you to comment on this. If you notice from last week, number one loser was James Franklin Backers. That is coming in for the first time ever Second time in a row, second week, back-to-back week, James Franklin backers. There are no words for what happened on Saturday. The only good thing now is that maybe it's the biggest big brain move he's ever pulled off, because now the rest of the season there are no big games for Penn State. Like if they lose to Ohio State, they're supposed to. So they can just play completely carefree football the rest of the way.
Yeah. I have a question. Curious your thoughts. When a team like Penn State loses a game against Oregon in double overtime or whatever on their home field, and it's kind of a gut-wrenching loss or whatever, what do you think Franklin's message was to the team like that Monday, like after the Saturday game? Like, and the reason why I asked this question is because I'm getting to my final point of how does that happen? How does Penn State lose to UCLA? Were the coaches not communicating to the players all week long? Like, did they not practice? Like, I need answers. I need answers.
New Heisel bump. I don't know. Maybe there was more in the UCLA side, because I mean they had like obviously this game should be Penn State 9 wins out of 10, but it's not like UCLA's had like this like disgusting athletic ability withheld from them. Like they haven't lost any scholarships. Like they still have athletes and Big Ten caliber players there. Just finding, I guess, the right brain to lead them. I'm not saying this is going to ignite like a UCLA charge and they go like 7 of 8 down the stretch. But yeah, I mean, I've had a tough time figuring out how to even explain this myself.
Exactly. Wow. I can't believe UCLA hung on at the end too. Like once Penn State scored that touchdown out of half to make it 27-14, and then I think they blocked the punt like right after that and made it 27-21. You were like, okay, well, this game's over. Penn State's going to win by 2 touchdowns, and it didn't happen.
I will say you're welcome, Nick. I went over there and saw our buddy Nick, and he was following that score, and he's like, "Oh, I think it's time to live bet Penn State." And I said, "Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend. I think that's a stay away. That's a toxic team right there." And thankfully he did.
Yeah.
Stay away from Penn State as we bet them this week against your Wildcats.
All right. Relax. Anything else?
Yeah, comments on the biggest winners and losers here. Did you get a chance to see anything Texas Tech?
Not really, outside of the uniforms that Houston wears like once a year that they should permanently retire. I know it's an ode to the Oilers, but no, thank you.
Yeah. This was just perfectly read by us on Wednesday. Fool's Gold 4-0 Houston, a team again, a little bit ahead of their skis this year. Just completely dominated from start to finish. Texas Tech, man, their defense is holding, and this is a serious contender. Mayer was on them in the preseason. I wasn't believing. And, man, they keep rolling like this. We could be talking first round bye. That's how good I think they looked. Morton looked good off injury. So they're a frisky team. They're about to get into some of their tougher schedule here.
That's crazy. Yeah, I heard that they have the best odds to win their conference, according to a one of the popular statistical models out there. I think on Vegas they're plus 105 to win the Big 12. I think right now.
Yeah, Big 12 DraftKings minus 120.
Okay.
Which might be the best you're going to see all year, to be honest. Arizona State, Utah are second and third, and they play each other this week. So that's going to clear out itself right there.
Yeah, that's an interesting game. And then your final winner, SEC Chaos.
Yeah, Florida obviously jumps out to me. Bama coming back. Now the highest ranked one-loss team. Um, man, this is the thick of it. These next 2 weeks in the SEC are going to be a just title changer in shift of what we think the landscape is going to be from that conference. And yeah, I'm very gassed up for it.
Yeah, for sure. Big game down in Texas this week in the SEC that we'll
Yep.
get into.
Second loser, Florida fans. Can you guess why I had this on here as a loser?
Off the rip, no.
Napier just kind of extended that leash a little bit longer.
True.
Extended that leash.
Yep.
And Kansas State futures. Did you see how that game ended? Kansas State Baylor.
I did see brief highlights on it, but
yeah, with about 3 minutes and change, close to 2, Kansas State hits a 60-plus yard touchdown pass at about the 26-yard line. The Baylor player rips off the Kansas State player's helmet as he's trying to tackle him, and the wide receiver breaks free of that and is sprinting to the end zone with no helmet. By rule, they have to blow the play dead.
no way.
Kansas State doesn't score a touchdown, settles for 3. Baylor has enough time to come down, win by 1 with a field goal.
Oh
Or
my
they
God.
would have had to kick or would have had to push for a touchdown instead. And yeah, I mean, say what you want about safety, but there wasn't another player within 15 yards. And there's rules in college football, like if you come off the bench of a streaking player and you tackle them and you weren't in play, it can be rewarded as a clear path touchdown. You don't actually have to get into the end zone. If you continue to commit the same foul over and over to prevent them from getting into the end zone, that can be. You saw that in the NFL either last year or 2 years ago. A touchdown can be awarded as well. So I think you're not going to see this too often, but it did affect this game. And some people that had Kansas State money line, of course, this kind of comes up is when it matters the most in your wallet.
Right.
I'd like to see that rule changed.
Yeah, fair enough. Sounds like it was the right rule, but a bad time to enforce it.
Yes, absolutely. I did have one other thing that I wanted to get off my chest in this recap, and it has to do with our boy James Franklin. Got a little bit of a, what is it? Grievance? Listen, college football nation, look at me, listen to me. We got to stop calling for coaches to get fired. All right. Like, I get this is Penn State's biggest hype year, but Jesus Christ, there's about 4 programs in the entire country that have the same expectations of national championship or bust. And, a lot of people were critical, and Drew Aller has never won a big game. You can call the playoff games, whatever. I don't classify that as big games. So maybe the hype was a little unwarranted. Maybe the expectations were a little higher for no reason than other than just the media pushing that. But let's get out of this. We need to fire this coach because the lowest he's ever won is 9 games or something. The same thing goes all across the country. Like, we got to fire him. We're going to sink our entire NIL for 5 years because we have to pay out this coach $50 million because he didn't win the national championship this year. It's like Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama. It might just be 3. Are the only ones in my mind that have the shortest leashes and the highest expectations in modern college football. So I just wanted, it's just very annoying hearing how much buyouts are every single week when it's just like spoiled little fandom babies.
I hear you, and I agree with a lot of what you're saying. How long has Franklin been the coach? 8 years? 10 years?
At least 10 years, because they won that block field goal Ohio State in 2016.
I'm not saying Penn State is on the same level as Ohio State when it comes to football expectations, but if they're not on the same level, I think they're damn close. It might be time for Franklin to get fired.
2014.
It's been there 10 years. 10 years.
11.
Hasn't made a national championship.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they got to get better players at quarterback. Like,
Yes, they do.
not one player in the last few years has been a championship level quarterback. They got to commit more to the run. I think the Barkley teams were their best chance. And listen, you got to look in the mirror and put your hand up and say, is Drew Aller going to be a national champion? Like, no, he's not. Sorry, no offense to the guy personally, but like the funniest thing of all of last season was Kirk Herbstreit saying, "There's no one I'd rather have down one score with the ball driving the entire field than Drew Aller," and he throws a duck pick 10 seconds later. Like, we got to have just like a different game plan on how you approach the quarterback position in state college.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I wanted to give Aller the benefit of the doubt coming into the year. I really did. But he looks like the same player. So
Exact same.
Without Tyler Warren.
So Texas and Penn State have not beaten a Power 4 team this year. How about that?
How about that?
It's week 7.
Part of it is scheduling, obviously, but I guess that's a whole nother conversation.
It's week 7.
Right. It's week 7.
And here's my question to you. Where does Penn State, Texas, and Florida State go from here? Which would be of those three have the best, like, obviously they all have great paths if they win out, but who realistically has the best chance to get back into the actual playoff conversation?
I mean, I guess you could say Florida State because of the conference that they play in, but I am going to say Penn State because of the conference that they play in. Texas is just going up against it, playing in the SEC. Although I do think Texas would be the best team if they can get going from a standpoint of if they get into the playoff, who would be my pick to like make a run? The answer would be Texas. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'd have to say Florida State. Can't forget that Alabama win.
True.
That's just a huge win. I know they're ACC, and that might be the only way they get that second ACC berth is win out and have that Alabama non-conference win.
True.
All right. Yep. One other shout out. Don't have to talk about them, but Virginia. They were on the round robin card. Took them outright. Had them on the card at +6.5, but I sprinkled on outright. Another big win. Plus money dog. Only one loss. ACC is looking a little formidable, Mayor. Undefeated Georgia Tech. And none of these teams are named Clemson. And that's the most shocking part of the first, 40% of the season now?
Yeah, for sure. And I think Clemson will still be hanging around, making noise, playing better football as the season goes on. But Virginia, very impressive. Nicely done for that program. Just got to be happy for them. And you're right. The ACC is a little bit better this year.
Love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Should we dive into the week that is?
Yes. Let's get into week number 7, folks, of the college football slate. And are we starting with week 7? Because I see Mac Messiah on the screen. I'm sorry.
Well, the week 7 games of the Mac Messiah.
Week 7 games of the Mac Messiah. All right, Burns, take it away.
Okay. 5-0 week last week. That's our biggest week since we've started this. And man, unders and dogs. When you look at the Mac right now, those years of Maction hitting 60 and 70 points, they might be gone, folks. So don't Just chase those overs. This week, we have Kent State as a favorite, folks. The Kent State Golden Flashes are a favorite over UMass. And if you recall, we are on Kent State's over 1.5 wins, and they're sitting at 1 win. So, man, this would be a big week.
Yeah.
Kent State benched their starting quarterback out of healthy scratch against Oklahoma. Didn't want that defensive line beating the crap out of him.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so Drew DeShields back. And UMass is like, people just like shitting on Kent State because they don't have an FBS win since 2022. But Drew DeShields, he's a good player. The Mac Manziel. Team total over Kent State is my lean. Western Michigan plays Ball State. Ball State, huge upset for Ohio. That's a tough loss for the Bobcats and their hope last week. Man, they had a win probability in the 90s, like that whole game feels like. That was a tough loss. So I like Western at home. Ball State come down game. Toledo. The Battle of I-75, Alex.
Hey, it's a cool
It's rivalry
bobblehead.
week. Rivalry week. Fuck BG. And I know this is crazy in a rivalry game, but Toledo's defense, I think, just suffocates Drew Pine's very turnover-prone ass. And I see Toledo winning by 2 scores here. That's a lean there until I dive into that game further. NIU money line. Eastern Michigan has been smothered by decent defenses. Thomas Hammock's just too good of a coach for NIU to keep losing MAC games like they are. So I think in a 1-point spread, I'll take NIU pick 'em. Then Akron again, Ben Finley. We called it. We called it last week. If he's healthy, which he was, he just pops off for over 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the Akron outright win last week. So, like Akron again versus Miami, DeQuan Finn has been cheeks, and their offense can't do anything. So that game literally might be 10-0. I don't even think 11 points could be scored in that game. So we'll take plus 11.5. And that's our Mac Messiah leans. Thank you as always.
All right. Love it. So are those actual plays of yours, or are those just the leans? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I mean, I would lean towards all of these. I don't see much change. I'm just going to look more into the totals. Kent State team total is definitely a play, and so is Western Michigan.
Got it.
But I want to take a peek, and so is Northern Illinois. So really, I just need to look at the totals of the Toledo game and the Akron game. Is the only thing I haven't solidified yet in my final plays.
Very good. Very impressive. Very demure.
I'm not even going to pretend like I know what that means. Like it's not an insult.
It's a new term. It's a new term that younger people use. I don't think I used it properly myself, but that's what happens when you're in your late 40s,
Late 40s. Jesus Christ.
You want to get into week 7?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Let me click on it here.
Yes, sir. All right. Big game slate. Yet again. And first, let me give you your flowers. You put together everything for this podcast. The show, the production, the graphics, the tweets, everything. Now I'm going to bust your balls. Yet again, you leave out fucking Auburn, Georgia on the big games.
All right. So they, under the new segment, Underdogs of the Week, Underdog-House of the Week segment. You saw that.
I did.
Because I think Auburn is a very live dog as my favorite underdog for this week, money line.
All right. Well, shit. Don't fucking spoil the whole thing. We'll get there.
That's the only reason they're not here.
Okay. All right.
Getting cute with it.
So we're actually going to start with a better game than that. Friday night, we have South Florida taking on North Texas.
It's the biggest group of 5 game of the season, Alex. Put some fucking respect on it.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. North Texas is undefeated. South Florida is 4-1. Their only loss coming against Miami. South Florida, 1.5 point road favorite. Is that correct?
That's right. Yes.
Over under at a whopping 67.5. This game is nationally televised, ESPN, Friday night.
Man, that's a huge number, isn't it?
Massive.
Dude, how do you? Yeah, and the sharp money is on the over. When I first saw this, I'm like, or USF has, shown that they can play some defense here. And my first lean was the under. But when I look at this game more, it's like, yes, North Texas is cute, but like USF has been through it right now. They've been through the ringer so far this season. They've been tested multiple times. Golish is a solid coach, and I just think this is another fool's gold undefeated team. It's a nice story, but I'm laying USF -1.5. See this as like a touchdown game spread. It should be.
That would be my lean as well. Have you watched any North Texas this year?
Highlights, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't. So I have to caveat that. But I was thinking the same thing. This seems like a spot where USF is just having a real special season. And I don't think this would be the spot for them to lose.
I mean, North Texas, you're going on the road and winning by 3 over Western Michigan. I mean, you've played Washington State, who's an FCS team, all South Dakota State, South Alabama, Army, and Lamar. Not Odom, the college. So, yeah. The only thing that I'll say is when it comes for future, like, if you like North Texas, sprinkle them to make the playoff because they have a very favorable remainder of the schedule with the toughest team, probably Navy. And then you look at USF, the remainder of their schedule, they still have undefeated Memphis, Navy, and this North Texas game right now. I'd also throw in our boys at Rice as a tough end of the season.
Sure. All right. We'll keep it moving. Ohio State at Illinois, Saturday, 11 a.m. Central on Fox. Ohio State, 14.5 point favorite on the road. The over-under is 50.5. Ohio State coming off a 42-3 ass whooping of Minnesota. Illinois had a bye. Illinois beat Purdue last week by 16 and beat USC the week before that. So
very good.
Mr. Buckeye, what do you think of this game?
Yeah. First of all, Minnesota can say something in week 6 that Penn State can't. They had a lead in that game, 3-0.
Okay.
And then I think Minnesota maybe had legit 40 yards the rest of the game. That was what impresses me the most with this Ohio State team right now is how truly disciplined this defense is. When you think about the phrase on offense, take what the defense is giving you. This defense plays like the opposite. Take what the offense is giving you. They keep everything in front of them. They stay at home. So mobile quarterbacks are just kind of like put out because their spies are so disciplined in staying around that pocket that I think it's going to be a lot of trouble for Altmaier, who likes to improvise and gets moving outside of the pocket, which we've shown Damon Williams, even quicker than Altmaier, was completely shut down for Washington. A couple other notes here. Ohio State's third highest in the entire country in sack percentage. And then Illinois is 115th in the country in sacks allowed. I see that being a big problem early on for Illinois. Keep this kind of crowd silent. Illinois is also 108th in third down conversions allowed. This Buckeyes team will grind you to a halt. Like we've said before, like they are the slowest tempo team in the country, and they will just keep grinding you out, keep their defense rested, which is the other side you don't think about. And then your offense comes out to respond to a touchdown, and you just have a defense that's fully rested, ears pulled back. So I like Illinois team total under 16.5. I like Ohio State minus 14.5 here. I would lean game under. I just think it's, again, a situation where there's just way too many athletes and players that are playing disciplined, great football on one side, and the other side would kind of be backing up those players.
Yeah, for sure. Very nice breakdown. I agree. Ohio State is definitely my lean at this point. They just look way too good, way too dominant on defense, and that's no slight to their offense, who is appearing to improve every single week. And hell, even their special teams had a really fun trick play last week. So
yeah, Sayan's at 80% completion percentage. It's fucking out of this world. And Carnell Tate, career high in receiving last week against Minnesota. So him and Jeremiah have basically the same exact receiving yards. Carnell Tate's, I think, almost leading the nation at 18 yards per reception, something crazy like that. So, yeah, they start moving the ball downfield. It's going to be really trouble because we saw what Mendoza in that Illinois defense did, or I'm sorry, offense did. Man, it could get ugly. That's why I don't kind of want to stay away from the total here.
yeah, Ohio State, they just need to keep an eye on Hank Beatty, Illinois' top player, and they should be fine. Moving on, Alabama taking on Missouri, 11 a.m. Central, ABC. Alabama is a 3-point favorite on the road, and the over-under is 51.5. Bama, of course, coming off their win against Vanderbilt last week, and Missouri, I believe, coming off a bye.
That's correct. And they're at home.
Well, since you took the first two to start, I'll open with this. You know, I think I like Bama to win this game. I think I'd lean them at the -3 as well. It's not to say that I think Bama is dominant and Missouri's not good, because I do think Missouri's pretty good. But I just like the momentum that Bama has. I like the way that they continue to find ways to win games. The quarterback looks really good. And I think last week against Vanderbilt, they had not their best game, to be honest. I felt like they were sloppy at times and made some mistakes. So I feel like there's a lot to clean up from that performance. And I just think Bama's a little bit better than Mizzou. So I like Bama.
My mayor, what are you thinking, bud? Because we're going head to head here. Boom, head to head. I just think it's a bad matchup spot for Bama. We talked about their weaknesses last week, and dude, Vanderbilt just stopped running the ball. Pavia was the leading rusher with 11 rushes. They stopped feeding Alexander. Just Vandy kind of got out of their element, and that was detrimental to them. So, Missouri is one of the best running teams in the entire country. I mean, their top two rushers, Hardy and Roberts, have over 1,000 yards rushing already combined, with Hardy leading the country at 730. That's an issue for Alabama. They've been getting gashed, by good teams like Georgia, did whatever they wanted. So I think Missouri is going to be comfortable here because South Carolina committed to the pass quite a bit because Missouri's run defense is pretty stout as well. And then so did Kansas, because I'd say those are the two best teams they've played so far. Tough with a few cupcakes in there, and last game they saw was UMass. So what's up, Winnie? Yeah, so that's why I just kind of think this home field advantage in the run game. In those two games, South Carolina and Kansas, Missouri had averaged 25 more plays than both teams. So they're going to be able to control the clock, do what they want, and I think they win a close one. I like 27-21.
All right. Yeah, I guess we'll see if Alabama can step up and be better on the run defense. Otherwise, it could be a long day for their defense if they can't stop the Missouri ground game. Indiana at Oregon, 2:30 p.m. Central, CBS. Oregon laying 7.5 at home. Over under is 55.5. This is a hell of a game.
It's a weird game. Just seeing Indiana at Oregon, Week 7, conference game. It's gonna take a couple years to get used to some of these matchups.
100%. You start us off with this one.
Okay. So, man, Cignetti doesn't win the big game on the road. Hasn't really done it looking back. I mean, he's got a pretty unblemished record, 35-6 over his last 4 years as a head coach. So, but the bigger games that he's played on the road, he's lost. Ohio State last year, Notre Dame last year, both on the road, both never in it. Especially that Notre Dame game looks a lot closer than it was. A couple onside kicks there at the end. So I'm a little concerned about that. I like Mendoza being familiar with the West Coast, a more polished quarterback than Rourke. I know they didn't play each other last year, so I'm just a little confused on what this game is going to be. Is it going to be like Oregon, Ohio State last year in the regular season, 33-32, where both are good teams and the offense is just kind of flexed in a spotlight type game? Or is it going to be like the first half of Oregon Penn State this year? It's 3-3. Both teams just can't really do anything. And for that reason, right now, I don't have an official play, but I kind of like the under in this game for that reason. Thinking it's going to be more like the Penn State Oregon game. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, very interesting game. I think Indiana playing Iowa early on in the season was one of the best things that could have happened to them from the standpoint of going into a tough atmosphere on the road, yet finding a way to win the game to keep their confidence up. I think this is a huge opportunity for Indiana to silence the doubters and shut up the haters. Going into Eugene and picking up a win would be massive for that program and obviously for their college football playoff aspirations. Oregon, on the flip side, very impressive win on the road against Penn State a couple weeks ago. How impressive that ends up being at the end of the year remains to be seen, but they got the job done. Now they're back at home in front of their home crowd. I'm not really sure what to expect from Oregon, just to be quite frank with you, because I'm not sure how good they are. And it's not to say that I don't think they're good, but I'm not sure how good they are. I don't know how good this team is. I think this game's going to be close, Burns. I think it'll be a fourth quarter game. Like you said, Mendoza has familiarity being out west. I think Indiana comes into this game with a massive, giant chip on their shoulder. I expect them to compete. They already show that they can win under the lights at home. And granted, I know they're on the road in this game, but they beat Illinois 63-10. This team is good. This team is legit. I like Indiana plus the points, and I think they have a real good shot to win outright. That's honestly my true opinion of the game.
Interesting. Yeah. I think Dante Moore's only been sacked once. Again, light non-conference schedule, the way it worked out, with Oregon State being so bad. Yeah, I guess I could see that. I also think one thing to note in that Iowa game against Indiana averaged 5 plays per drive. That's not what I want to see out of Cignetti-led offense against an Iowa team that's definitely lesser than where you're at right now as a program. Those are too short of drives. I need to see some momentum out of that, and that's excluding there was no garbage time, so that game was down to the wire. So a little concern there. This would be a live bet spot for me if Oregon comes out howling. Just bet it to whatever. They could also win by 4 scores. No Abe Lincoln.
And Indiana has to prove that they can show up on the road and make a statement. And I don't mean by winning, but I mean coming out and starting strong.
I want to see Kamara rattle Dante's feathers.
Right. I mean, Iowa played they played like shit against Iowa. Like, let's just call it for what it is. I think the environment maybe got to them a little bit, and they did not play up to their capabilities.
Yeah. That turf out there in Oregon moves a little faster for you too, versus that thick turf in Iowa that really bogs you down.
For sure. All right. Red River rivalry. Oklahoma taking on Texas. Spreads 1.5. Texas is favorited. Over under 42.5. 2:30 p.m. ABC at the Cotton Bowl. So right now my lean is Texas. I think Texas has more motivation coming into this game, just from a human, I guess, centered standpoint of they were ranked number 1 coming into the year. Now they're out of the top 25. The haters and the media are probably very loud for good reason in Austin. The pressure is on. The pressure cooker is on for Texas to save their season right now. Backs are against the absolute fucking wall. Truly, I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't believe it. I think they have those edges from a motivational and urgency standpoint. Meanwhile, you got fat and happy Oklahoma at 5-0. Maybe John Mateer returns. Maybe he doesn't. I don't think it matters. Oklahoma, I'm concerned about their ability to run the ball consistently. And although I love Oklahoma, and then we are pro Oklahoma podcast, and I love their defense, I just hate the spot for them. So I like Texas. And I know that's probably unpopular, and I'm sure you will tell me why you're on Oklahoma in this game, but I think the Longhorns is the right side.
Yeah, no. Have you seen the Mateer news?
Last I heard is he was doing everything he could to play.
Correct. And they've been very ho-hum. God, this is why you got to love college football. It's just like a fucking secret espionage type thing. Where NFL, they're like on the injury report, like before the game's over in the week prior.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't like that anonymity, if we're going to say tongue twisters like Red River rivalry. I don't think Josh Pate is right either with his sources. He says if this line is at where it's at because they believe Mateer is playing, that Texas should be -5 if Mateer is not playing. So that's why this line is where it's at. The books believe Mateer is playing. I don't believe he's worth 4.5 points in a game where the defenses are going to shine. I will say if Mateer truly doesn't play, this is a low total, but I really like under 43.5. Defenses both are some that are going to shine. Hawkins at quarterback, man, they only had 2 explosive plays over 20 yards against Kent State. Like, I know you're not trying to unload, but like it's more about just getting open and simple plays. And he didn't light it up by any means. I watched that game because I had an absolutely sick bet on that game before I knew the Shields was just a healthy scratch. So I was watching a lot of that game, and he's the same guy we saw fill in last year when Jackson Arnold got hurt. Just a strictly run guy, which could be fine, could be doable, but I could see the same week 1 Texas-Ohio State game if that's the case, where that final was 14-7. So my play would actually be the under. I like your line of Texas without Mateer. I just think there's too many cards stacked against Oklahoma's deck with Texas completely back against the wall. Nothing left. Neutral site. Texas has dominated 2 of the last 3 years. 34-3 last year, 49-0 3 years ago. I know those teams are different, whatever, but that does have a little bit of a, I don't know. It's rivalry. It means a little different.
Yeah, I like the under lean. I would agree. I would lean under as well. Okay, great. Well, those are our big game slate for week 7, but we have plenty of other games to cover as we get into our games of note part of the podcast. And we're going to start with Pitt going on the road, taking on Florida State. 11 a.m. Central, ESPN, Florida State, 10.5-point favorite, over under 56.5. Pittsburgh changed quarterbacks last week. Went with a true freshman. Is that correct, Burns?
Yeah, that's right. And he balled out.
48-0.
48-0, 4 touchdowns.
48-7. Sorry, 48-7.
Oh, they did sneak one in?
Yeah,
I didn't
they
even
did.
see that. Okay. Yeah, he balled out. And that was super impressive without Des Reed again. That was even more impressive. The defense kind of, I thought they played well the week before as well. Obviously, with that pick six, just showing a little bit more havoc, just giving up few too many explosive plays for my liking in a defense. But early bet, and this line has already gone up 1. I'm on the over in this game. Two teams that, and I really like first half over. Two teams that have averaged allowing over 21 points in the first half this season. So, or scoring 21 points in the first half this season. Sorry. Both teams have. So I like the over in this. I would lean Pitt with, last week we bet Pitt. After we buried him, we resurrected them. So I guess we just carry the thread of Spooktober. We keep betting the zombie, the dead body that shouldn't be alive. Let's just keep betting them.
You talking about Clemson?
Pitt.
I know.
Clemson could be in there too.
Okay. I like it. Moving on, Florida. Going on the road, taking on Texas A&M. A&M laying 7.5 at home, over under 46.5, 6 p.m. Central, ESPN. Obviously, Florida, big win against Texas last week. They look good.
Big.
Texas A&M is hotter than fish grease at this moment in time. Let's just call it for what it is. They beat Notre Dame on the road in primetime, come back home, beat Auburn in an ugly, gritty defensive game where they outgained them by 1 million yards, yet only won 16-10. And then last week, Mississippi State, kind of close for a little bit, and then A&M did what good teams do. They just put them the hell away. And A&M's back at home again. Another home game. Does this team ever play on the road? I don't know. But Burns, I've been impressed with A&M thus far to start the season. However, I was impressed with Florida. And we saw last year when Florida got off the mat, I don't remember who it was that they beat to get off the mat at that time. But when they did get off the mat, maybe it was like an ugly win against Mississippi State. They played a lot better in their remaining games. It's like all they needed was to see that one go through the hoop, and they played a lot better. And I think that is going to be the case for this year's Florida Gators as well. I think their confidence is back. I think their swagger is back. And I think this is too many points against an A&M team that, although has been good, still has question marks. So, yeah, Gators plus the 7.5. Absolutely love that bet.
I do too. We're on the same side here. I think Florida has shown defense can keep them in games. Really shined last week, I thought, off that bye. I think that'll carry in. I think it's a similar team built like Auburn, except I like Lagway much better than Arnold. So with that, I'm going to be sprinkling a little on this money line as well. I'm not scared of the road team here. I don't believe in Texas A&M. Don't believe in Elko. I think they're frauds. And, I could see this is where the chaos begins in the SEC.
Florida, Indiana, money line parlay.
Whoa. That'd be nifty. Add another one in there. There's some plus monies that I like this week.
Sure.
Missouri, Auburn. I like a lot of the plus money SEC teams, to be honest. Missouri, Auburn, and Florida.
Another really interesting game as we pivot to the Big Ten. Michigan at USC. Michigan coming off, of course, their win against Wisconsin last week. USC off a bye after losing to Illinois in Champaign 2 weeks ago. USC is a small 2.5-point favorite. The over-under is 57.5, 6:30 p.m. Central, NBC. Curious to hear your thoughts because I haven't dove into this game and I have not been able to put my finger on this game, but I do have a lean, but I want to hear what you say.
Yeah, it's interesting. This line jumped out to me. 57.5 seems like a lot in a Michigan game. So that was the first number that jumped out to me. Secondly, my V is playing well. It seems like they're finally getting under a Lincoln Riley type offense that they want to be in. I like this spot for USC. I'll definitely be on the Trojans under that field goal. I just think USC's offense can jump out, get all over the field if they are able to kind of stuff this run game away for a first few drives and jump out to a lead. Underwood looks inaccurate. He looks rushed by his own being, like he's missing throws that this guy that should be the best quarterback in the country, from what I'm told, should not be missing. So I'm a little concerned about their ability to catch up through the air, and I like USC's spot here.
Do we have no clue at all if Jacoby Lane is like returning or playing at all? I mean, at this point, I guess we just have to assume that he's not playing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only problem with the lack of injury report. It's like until like the day of or before.
So in terms of this game, typically in this spot, I would lean USC because they're off a bye, they're off a loss, and I wouldn't say I lean USC. I would say typically I would bet USC in this spot, but right now I think for me it's only a lean because I think Underwood is improving each week, and I think Michigan.
Did you watch that Wisconsin game?
No.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you should hit the game recap on that. It was like, what, 10-7 at half? They look like a 5-win team at half.
Interesting. I listened to Tom Pelissero? I don't know. Someone watched the game from start to finish, and he said that Michigan-Wisconsin game should have been more like 34-10 instead of 24-10. And he said he thought it was Underwood's best game to date. He said he looked fluid, smooth, made good decisions. That was his opinion.
Interesting.
So, I don't know. No play on this game. Got to think about it more, but it's a good game. Very interested to see how it shakes out. Two big teams, too. Last time Michigan.
If you like Michigan, I don't see how this game gets over 57.5.
Yeah, they got a pretty good defense. All right. Kansas at Texas Tech. You might be a Texas Tech guy now. I don't know.
We'll see.
Well,
I like the spot for Kansas.
Okay. Texas Tech is laying 13.5 at home. Over unders 59.5, 6:30 p.m. Central on Fox. Yeah, tell us why you like Kansas.
I just like the spot for Kansas. In my opinion, this is the best quarterback that Texas Tech has had to face. Frisky defense. But I haven't committed to a play yet. I think it's up to 14.5 now. I made this. Yeah, it's up to 14 on the dot. Lean towards the under here. Like I said, I was really impressed with Texas Tech was able to do on defense more than anything last week against Houston. And Kansas has done better keeping control of the ball, not turning it over as much as last year. But we'll see. I think just 2 touchdowns is too many. I don't think they're a live dog by any means. But Jalen Daniels has proved it's good decision. He's come back, and right now I'd be leaning towards Kansas plus 2 touchdowns and under 59.5.
Yep. Yeah, no play for me. I just haven't seen Texas Tech enough, I think, to have a fair evaluation of them. Kansas, I like them. I mean, they're fun. They're frisky. They're not going to win the whole thing, but I like them. And they had a nice win on the road against UCF in a tricky spot last week.
Fun and frisky. What are you trying to take him for ice cream or something?
Yeah,
Trying to swoon them on a little date?
that sounds nice. um, this game is real interesting because we might be able to put a fork into LSU after Saturday night. South Carolina travels to Baton Rouge to take on LSU. LSU's laying about 8.5, 9.5, somewhere in that ballpark. Over unders 44.5, 6:45 p.m. Central, SEC Network. Yeah, I mean, seriously, I stand by what I said. Like this could be the end of LSU season, and I'm very curious to see off of a bye if they have made any adjustments, if they look a little bit different, if they look a little bit better. I'm not getting my hopes up, but that's what I'm looking for.
Boy, if you're a South Carolina fan, you might not be going bowling. Are you aware of the final part of their schedule here that's about to start this week?
Hell no.
Oh, brother. LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, CUSA team, Clemson.
Yeah, that's not it's not ideal, especially if your team isn't that good, which it appears South Carolina is not.
So this starts that run. Listen, this is a strictly lifetime bet. Throw the stats away. LSU in Death Valley, off a bye, only 8.5. You have this one game for the rest of your season. This will, like you're saying, time to put all of your athletes nuts on the table. Like it's enough fucking around trying to find a run. Throw the ball 70 times. I don't give a fuck. Like throw bubble screens as your run. I don't give a shit. You need to have that ball in the air every single play. Stop pretending to establish a run and just over athlete, making up hyphenated words now. Over athlete this South Carolina team that is dog shit for SEC standards. Like they've already got through the ringer of getting beat by Vandy, Missouri. LSU should have no problem covering 8.5 at home. And I'll take that loss if they don't. But this is an all time, like just back it in a situation spot, throw all the previous stats away.
I like it. I like the confidence. And I think you also have to remind yourself that even if you're still questioning LSU's offense, you still have LSU's defense behind you, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty damn good. They should
Sure.
be able to hold South Carolina and keep them off the scoreboard quite a bit. All right, I love it. And we got BYU. BYU on the road, undefeated BYU on the road, taking on Arizona. BYU 1.5 point favorite, over under 47.5. 7 p.m. Central, ESPN2. What do you think, man?
This is interesting, right?
It is
4-1
interesting.
versus 5-0. You haven't heard. I can guarantee you 99% of college football watchers haven't heard a peep about Arizona football. And there they are, 4-1, about to host BYU for their biggest game of the season. 5-1 Arizona would be ranked next week, no doubt, with the win here. Noah Fafita back on the map 2 years ago, obviously stealing some hearts, the run that Arizona was making. This is a weird game, to say all that. A very weird game. I like what I've seen out of BYU in their offense. I haven't been able to watch much of Arizona's entire game. I know that we were on Iowa, at least I was on Iowa State in that drubbing. A little worried about their pass offense. But seeing a lot of green in advanced analytics for Arizona's defense. So maybe an under lean here, but I'm just on my gut. I like the Cougars. This is another one of those. Arizona was like what 4.5, 5 win total on the season. And Vegas doesn't give you win totals that low because you have a bunch of potential. So, Fool's Gold team of the week, maybe only getting a point. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, this game has my brain all tied up. Bear Bachmeyer, BYU's quarterback, you weren't kidding. That dude can get the ball out of his hands. That guy is impressive throwing the ball.
Yeah, he's a little speedster too. He can move out of that pocket quickly.
Yeah, they thoroughly dominated West Virginia. Kicked their ass, even though West Virginia stinks and we all know it. But that they
Backdoor
really,
cover.
I was on it. Let's go.
No, God.
Yep, I woke up in the morning and obviously very happy, very very happy. And then of course I had to go watch the highlights and see how it all went down. But yeah, it almost feels too easy. It almost feels too easy. I guess my question with Arizona is that they've had one test. That test was against Iowa State, and they lost by 20 plus points. And if you want to say that the Kansas State game earlier in the season was a test, I would have to disagree because they played Kansas State at their absolute lowest point in that ball game. So I'm just not sure if Arizona is worth a lick. It's really kind of my concern if I were to back them in this spot. But BYU, in the same token, does feel creepily too easy. Like,
Yeah.
you
Oh, I
know?
mean, just to back you up, I mean, you even said it in your when we recap that Arizona Kansas State game. You're like, there were so many opportunities. I mean, Arizona should be winning by 30 points, and Kansas State was in a one possession game in the fourth quarter. Like they were just giving Arizona every opportunity to blow them out, and they just hung around
Yep.
somehow. And that's good teams do end up winning, but you also good teams don't let other teams hang around. I think we just take BYU. I wish this was a 9 o'clock game so I could watch more of this game, but being at 7 o'clock, I mean, way too many games in that window to really care about this one.
Right.
But I'd go BYU.
Okay. All right. What else do we got on the docket?
Man, we got a SICKO slate we got to move through. You're gonna find some of these funny that are under SICKO.
All right. SICKO slate, week 7. We're going to kick off in the Big Ten. UCLA travels to East Lansing to take on Michigan State. Michigan State is laying 8.5, over under 56.5, 11 a.m. Big Ten Network. Yeah, I watched a lot of that Michigan State versus Nebraska game last week, and
Man,
go
us
ahead.
not getting home with 11.5, or I'm sorry, 10.5 was fucking brutal. At least me.
Yeah, just a weird game. Michigan State actually took a lead briefly in the second half,
Oh
and
yeah.
then Nebraska was like, okay, enough of this. And I guess finally got serious, finally woke them up a little bit. But it's hard to envision UCLA being able to. You just wonder what their focus level is this week going into this game against Michigan State. But you know what? I'm going to come out and say it. I think 8.5 is too many points based on what I've seen from Michigan State thus far. I can't trust Michigan State to be laying that many points in this spot. And that doesn't mean I'm taking UCLA, but I think that spread is a little bit too large.
Yeah. I've got a play on this game. Michigan State team total over 31.5.
Ooh.
Yeah. I just think I would take the game over, but I'm worried that I'm actually on the that Michigan State is just going to win like 38-0. This is the ultimate letdown weird spot. You just won outright as a 26-point dog. First game as your new coach, and fucking Jerry Heisel's first time ever calling plays. Like that's lightning in a bottle, dude. Like that's not repeatable. But UCLA's defense is not good, as we saw. Their offense, and that's why I would like the over. If you could tell me their offense will be there, they'll easily put up 27 on UCLA. But I'm not sure that anyone on the team will be there, like mentally. So I like Michigan State here to really get a statement game in the box score column of like, wow, how bad is Penn State? Michigan State just beat UCLA by 38. That's where
Yeah,
my head's at.
I think your analysis is the correct analysis. Like that's a very sharp, better, like gambling way to look at it. Okay.
Like 11 a.m. or noon Eastern? That's fucking bullshit for
Right.
scheduling.
Crimea River. Like, they decided to join the conference.
That's fair.
This game is very interesting to me. Iowa State at Colorado. I saw Iowa State -2.5, juice to -120 earlier this morning. Over under 52.5, 2:30 p.m. Central ESPN. This game is very interesting to me because I feel like I've started to see some signs of life from Colorado as a team that's improving. However, Iowa State, tough loss against Cincinnati last week, really got blown out, and then they came back and then really made it a game until not being able to finish. And, Cincinnati ended up beating Iowa State. So it's back-to-back road games for Iowa State. And honestly, my lean at this point in time is that Iowa State is just the more mature team, and I like that they're coming off a loss, and I think they will be motivated to make things right and keep themselves squarely in the Big 12/playoff contention. Colorado, just don't think I've seen quite enough to trust them in this spot. So my lean is Iowa State.
You don't want to go with the sick coach angle?
Continue.
Dion getting treated for like blood clots.
Okay.
And no, listen, I think you're in the right headspace of how we should be thinking about this game. Colorado, again, we said that it was going to be a flip of what we saw last year. Like their defense is going to be better. They're not going to be like running up and down the field like old school Big 12 games. So that has shown up, in my opinion, kept them in games. Last week, you were spot on with Cincinnati over Iowa State. Wasn't able to tweet it out, but I did personally bet that game over right before kickoff. It was the right spot because them being so thin at DB is really, really hurting a team that can't get pressure. And I see that happening again. 52.5 is too low with a quarterback like Caden Salter. I think this is one where I just tout Colorado's defense, but Rocco Becht, in my opinion, is right there with Josh Hoover on capability as a quarterback. Hoover's a little bit better, I'd say, but they just put up 35. And I like the over 52.5 in this spot. Call me crazy.
No, it sounds like a good angle, especially if Iowa State is that decimated in the secondary. TCU on the road. Speaking of Josh Hoover, at Kansas State, TCU is laying 1.5 on the road, over under 55.5, 2:30 p.m. Central Time. I do like Hoover. I think he's a really good quarterback. My lean is Kansas State.
Really? Gosh, how ugly is that?
I don't even know if I believe what I'm saying.
Oh, now it's, I mean,
they're playing better.
They are, but now you see that 4 in the loss column, and it's just like with 3, there was at least 1 loss in Big 12. Like you were legitimately still alive. But now we're talking 2 losses in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Kind of got screwed. Like should have won that game from what I described to you. Oh, how do you get off the mat again? Like they've had to get off the mat so many times. And TCU's hopes still alive. Like
right.
This is why this is why it's on the SICKO slate. This is a sick game to bet.
Yes, it is. Part of me thinks Kansas State shows up in front of their home crowd and they build on their improvement and win 28-24. Another part of me thinks they get blown out. So I'm scared.
That's totally fair. I'll probably lay off this game, but I wanted to throw it on here because I know you're a Hoover backer. I obviously had Kansas State in the playoff and winning the Big 12. So it's just a collision between the two of us on teams that what could have been.
Exactly. All right. We got Air Force taking on UNLV. Jeez, that is sick. But I guess UNLV's undefeated. UNLV -6, over under 67.5, 2:30 p.m. Central, CBS Sports Network.
Yeah. Also, I mean, did you see the total here?
Yeah, 67.5.
Holy shit. That's a big number, folks. But I might be crazy enough to lay that because Air Force's defense is one of the worst you'll ever see. But boy, do they just go for it on offense. Our Academy under did lose terribly. That was a dead dog loser from the start.
Yep.
Those boys they should be playing on Sundays, how well-oiled machine those offenses looked.
For sure.
But with that being said, like I think, dude, Air Force's quarterback had 8 completions for 240 yards. Like, oh
30,
man,
30 yards a pop.
They're not afraid to just go deep. Fuck it, he's down there somewhere. So I like the over in this game. I'd say Air Force again is a live dog because I think UNLV are frauds. I mean, it's a team full of transfers with 2 of the worst quarterback transfers. Oh, how are they still undefeated? Like Miami of Ohio loss was devastating. Maybe I'm not over that yet, but yeah, that's where my head's at. I'll have something in this game, and it might be Air Force money line.
You make a very compelling case for both the over and possible Air Force. Getting even sicker, we have Old Dominion at Marshall. Old Dominion is a 14.5-point favorite, over under 55.5, 2:30 p.m. Central, ESPN Plus. What do you like?
Old Dominion, dude. Marshall is terrible. I'm not sure. Like they've had some decent results. ODU is like they can start throwing their hat here into the G5 ring with some more convincing wins. It's an easy cover for us last week, -20.5. Even on the road, I'm okay laying 2 touchdowns here. Might be pretty Joe. This might be the Joe play. I'm just turning a blind eye, but any chance I can get to fade Marshall below 20, I'll take that. I'll take that chance. I'll roll that dice.
Okay, you sound pretty confident in that. All right, interesting. I'll note that. Arkansas at Tennessee, 3:15 p.m. Central, SEC Network. Tennessee laying 12.5, over under 68.5. I guess my thoughts off the cuff here in this game would be: is this Arkansas's first game without Sam Pittman?
Yes, they're off a bye.
They're off a bye. It's their first game without the head coach who got fired. I remember you saying about how much of a player's coach Pittman is and how nice of a guy he is. And I don't see him being fired as an advantageous thing for Arkansas going into this game. I truly don't. It feels like their program is in a state of chaos at the moment, and Tennessee is off to a good start to begin their year. I would lay it with Tennessee.
So even with Bobby Petrino coming in and clearing house, getting people he wants in there, even though he's just an interim, he fired a bunch of people on staff. You would say there's not a pop for Bobby Petrino, Mister. Bring your volleyball coach on the motorcycle and just show her Show her the views of Arkansas?
No, I don't. Not going into Knoxville on Saturday. No, I like Tennessee big.
Okay. What about also who's on deck for Tennessee?
Um, Not sure.
Bama
Doesn't do
next
much
week.
for me just because Tennessee is what? Are they off a bye?
Uh, yes.
Yeah, I don't believe in look ahead spots for teams off a bye. That's just my personal theory on it.
Okay. That's fair. Totally fair. I just I don't know, man. If you remember last year, this was the huge upset outright, derailed Tennessee's season
True.
in Fayetteville. Maybe they have their number. Taylor Green. Uh, could this be a sicko move of betting back-to-back games over 67.5? Just betting 2 games close to 70, getting into the over category. Because both of these teams, this might be a first half overplay for me. Tennessee, by far right now, the highest scoring team in the first half. Arkansas is a top 25 team scoring in the first half as well. And yeah, I could see a first half play for me over.
All right. Clemson at Boston College, 6:30 p.m. Central, ACC Network. Clemson laying 14.5 on the road. Over under 55.5. I've already bet this game. I took
Whoa.
Clemson. I took Clemson minus 14.5. Clemson got a nice win last week against horrific North Carolina, but God, did they need it. Boston College just lost 48-7 against Pitt. This is about as Joe as it gets from me. But Clemson is far better than Boston College, and one team has the arrow pointing, I guess up with Clemson. But how's Boston College going to respond after losing 48-7, and they've already lost to Stanford this year? Yeah, Clemson, easy. Clemson rolls in this game.
I agree. I think you evaluate this game preseason. It's probably what, Clemson minus 25.
Yeah,
Like I know they've taken a step back, but I think this is still buying low on Clemson in their trek back towards just being a pest, 10-2 pest. It's like, well, maybe we should let Clemson in. That's how this is fully going to end this season, 100% after everyone was burying Dabo after Syracuse.
Yep.
So I'm with you. I like that play. That's a good view.
All right. And then 11 p.m. Central on Spectrum,
Oh,
Utah State taking on Hawaii. Hawaii is a 1.5-point favorite, over under 58.5.
we get to do it again. I like it. As long as Aliando is playing, the Hawaii over, baby. I love it.
Nice.
Yep. As long as Micah Aliando is playing, like we are going to be betting this over with a team that's been able to score in the SEC competition. I saw some sharp money on Hawaii money line. Man, I like Utah State. I like Bronco Mendenhall, what they've been doing there. So I might lean towards the dog on the game, but over on the Big Island.
Love it. All right. And then this segment that you put together here.
Yep, I got it for you. 2 games. My favorite. Dogs.
Underdog-House game of the week. And these 2 games are good. We want to make sure we cover them. Georgia at Auburn. This is a night game. Is that correct?
Yes.
Georgia on the road, laying 3.5, over under 45.5. You like Auburn to cover and maybe win. Tell us why.
Yeah. I like the home field advantage at night under the lights. I've been I wasn't overly impressed with what Georgia could have done against Alabama. I thought they had opportunities to win that game, and those opportunities like literally slipped through their fingers.
Receiver's hands. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
So I'm not sure this is the full functioning big scary Georgia team that we've seen in years past. I do like Gunner Stockton at quarterback, but this Auburn defense has been so pesky. They can shut the run down. One of the best teams in advanced analytics per rush in the country, and they really just hung in there against Texas A&M on the road in a game, like you said, were heavily outgained. So, not saying this is a guarantee win here, but I just like the spot. I like the spot.
I love the spot. How can you not love the
Whoa.
spot? I mean,
Whoa.
I think you make great points, and I would add that although they did fucking lose to A&M and there's no moral victories, the week prior they lost to Oklahoma on the road in a game that was very close and competitive. Auburn's just had like kind of a weird year. Like obviously they're not like a national championship type team, but they start the year, beat Baylor on the road, come back home, win, and then they have 2 road SEC games, Oklahoma and then Texas A&M. Just a very tough scheduling spot for them, to be honest. Now they've had a bye, I believe, unless they whooped up on someone last week, like a small school. I don't know for
They
sure.
did not. No.
Georgia, there's concerns. There's concerns, but I will say the line is tight. It's not like it's 7.5 or 6.5. It's 3.5. So
They just need to find a way to like make this passing game successful somehow
exactly,
because
they got to score some fucking points.
yeah, I think we're going to find out more often than not like these big name quarterbacks aren't going to be able to jump the big programs. Like we saw who Jackson Arnold was last year. One off season, he's the exact same player. Like we saw him on the field against SEC opponents. Like there was no hiding it. Like he is not the passer that's going to carry you in a shootout victory.
So I think you nailed it. I think that's what's keeping me off of it right now because I want to back Auburn because of the spot. I want to back Auburn because of their defense. But I mean, if we're gonna have the offense rolling out there and scoring 10, I mean, Georgia still covers even if the final is 17-10.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. It's tough.
It is. Another really good game.
Night spot.
This game's a night spot. Yeah, this game's like a late night spot.
Night. It's 9:15 Central.
There you go. Arizona State taking on Utah. Utah's laying 5.5 at home. Over under 48.5. Who'd Utah beat last week?
Well, they beat
West Virginia by a
2
lot
weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
And last week they beat up on no, they were on a bye.
They were on a bye. Okay. And Arizona State, they what did they do?
Arizona State last week, they beat TCU.
That
Or
was
2
2
weeks
weeks
ago.
ago.
So they're
Yeah.
both on a bye.
Both off a bye. Okay. So I'll tell you this. My initial thoughts on this game is take Arizona State plus the 5.5. They, to me, appear to be a team that is getting back to who they were last year from just an identity standpoint and just an improvement standpoint. I haven't been blown away by Utah to trust them to cover this spread, even if they are at home in this spot. I think Arizona State has a great coach, and I just think they are making improvements, even though it hasn't been pretty. They're finding ways to win. They still have a very good quarterback. They still have Tyson at wide receiver. I like Arizona State catching the points here.
Yeah, that's when I saw this line, I thought the same exact thing. And I also thought back to our conversation after Texas Tech, Utah. It was like, we got to bury Dampier. Like, we just can't lay points with Dampier anymore. But I'm not sure Arizona State's defense is going to provide as much havoc as Texas Tech was able to. So that's my biggest concern here. And the spot under lights is so much different than a 10 a.m. kickoff local time.
Yeah.
Like this is a spot where I think you flex on a pro play that a lot of people are. Last time they saw Utah, they're going to remember that Texas Tech game, and they're going to see Arizona State. Last time they probably saw them was Texas in the playoff last year. Cam Scatabo isn't even on the team anymore, but that's the last time they saw them.
Right.
And they're going to see that number and be like, oh, this is Arizona State. So I think I would actually lay Utah minus 5.5 here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, I don't know if I'll have a play in this game, but it's a good game. It's an interesting.
It'll be the last night game. It's like, well, I got to have a play on it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
All right.
Cool.
So that is the Underdog-House game of the week. I had this made up. We got to check in. We're almost halfway through the season here in a couple weeks. The win total parlay check-in. You ready for this?
I mean, unfortunately, it's dead, and we know it's dead.
Well, none of them say 0 next to it, so it's very much alive in a mathematical sense.
Yeah.
And it starts tonight with the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. All right, here's the update so far. If you forgot, our 6-win bowl-eligible parlay: Nebraska 99%, Washington 97%, Iowa 75%. These are all percentage to hit 6 wins through week 6 last week. Buffalo 78, Florida State 100%. All right, here's where we have a trouble here. Air Force 20%. Gonna need an upset this week. Really get us back on track there. Because Miami has gotten us back on track, 68%. Pitt 67%. Vandy 99%. That one was one of my biggest bets preseason. Vandy 6+ wins. Not there yet.
Let's go.
Not there yet, but that plus 120 is looking nice. And down here, Middle Tennessee, 6%. Probably 6 more percentage than you thought.
Yeah.
So, I mean, overall, we have 10 teams here. 2 teams are below 50%. I'd say that's pretty good through week 6. No one has 0% chance.
I mean, it is pretty good, but it's also like, okay, but let's look at the bottom 2 teams. We're not talking 46% here.
Yep. So that's an update there. We'll keep you posted. It won't be a weekly thing, but obviously it's on life support.
Yeah. Nice graphic, though.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Teaser, week 7. Got that ready to roll? All right. You start off. When you start off, we've won. So go ahead and let us know.
Okay. Well, you guys know I like Texas to beat Oklahoma this week, so I'm taking them from -1.5 up to +5 in what should be a low-scoring game. Kansas State +8 against TCU. Yeah, no, we got to throw that one away. No,
Whoa.
No, we're not doing that fucking thing right now.
Okay.
So I'll find a new leg, and my third leg, which actually is my second leg, is Clemson from -14.5 down to -8. And while you relay your picks, I'll give you one more.
Whoa. Okay. Unprecedented. All right, we didn't talk about this game, but Notre Dame, NC State, CJ Bailey should be able to put up at least, mid-20s, high 20s. NC State's defense has been scored upon this season. I think Notre Dame is back to the overtrain this week after that Boise State. I forgot to mention that in the recap. Boy, how that was one of those. Here, we'll just talk about it. Let me get through here. So Florida up to 14 against TAMU. I like them outright, so let's get 2 touchdowns. And then Auburn to 10. Like them outright as well. So there's our teaser. What's your last one? Alex?
Let's go with Tennessee. Tennessee from minus 12.5 down to minus 6.
Ooh, no, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. The 2 minus guys. But yeah, the 21-7 final of Boise State Notre Dame. I mean, how many times they got into the 60s? It was just one of those no does. 68
Right.
and a half was the closing number. Just how did we not sniff that one out?
For sure. Yeah. There's always variance within a season. No one can sustain that every single
Yeah.
week,
Yep.
typically.
Exactly. Then let me pull this up since we have usually about 10 minutes left, so we're a little early this week. So I want to pull this up for you to look at, and we're gonna build it. All right.
All right.
If we build it, they will come.
Indeed.
Pause.
Whoa.
Okay. Here we go. Sharing screen.
If they build it, they will come. Pause.
All right. So, all right, that is. Let's get this scheduled. Oh no. Here we go. All right, so let's build the quad box parlay, Alex. It needs to come back to life. My parlay is shitting the bricks, just pissing away units every single week. So it's time that we find one that was fairly profitable last year. I believe we hit 4 times in like 12 weeks. It was a pretty good little parlay, and now we can build any quad box we want. So gives us a little bit more flexibility. The 11 a.m. slot looks nice. I think that or the late slot. What are your thoughts? Should we build something in here?
Okay, let's take a look.
Oh, you know what? Let me switch over to this.
Let's see. Early.
Let me just switch it. What? Okay. Is that all games? Yeah, that's all games. Okay. Here we go.
I say afternoon or evening.
Okay, no 11 a.m. slate.
Right.
Okay, we'll get going here. All right. Starting at 2:30, Oklahoma, Texas, Indiana, Oregon, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech. We'll talk about that game.
I made up my mind. Let's do night.
Night. Okay, let's get to 7. 6, 7, as the kids say.
6, 7. I like Florida plus 7.5. I think that should be in it.
Okay, I would agree with you there. I think we're easy agreement on the first one. That game starts at 6. Perfect. Okay, next one. Man, Gronowski is supposed to play. Iowa team total over. We don't need that in a quad box.
Do we want to torture ourselves and put Auburn plus 3.5 in there?
No, not as a. Let's take a look at the rest of the games first.
All right. Well, we should put Clemson minus 14 in there, I think.
Why don't we buy it to 12.5?
Okay.
Is that fair? Just protect ourselves.
Yeah, sure.
From any funny business. Okay.
LSU minus 6.5.
I like that. I like LSU. Just nuts on the table game. You know,
Right.
I'm behind. I'm okay with just 8.5. But
Let's
we
do
can.
8.5.
I mean, I'm okay with 13.5. Please it up. No, I'm kidding. We'll stay at 8. We'll stay at 8. Quit horsing around now.
6, 7.
This is a radio segment here. No one can see the screen unless you're watching on YouTube. Okay, final game. Ooh, Minnesota, Purdue. How did we not talk about that game?
Right.
BYU. Okay, and then all right. So I would say either USC money line, Texas Tech, Kansas under, or Auburn, Georgia under. Ugh.
But out of those three, I would go with
I mean, if you have any others that you like in the window, please speak up or forever hold your peace.
USC money line. Let's do that.
I like that. So that pays, look at that, just about 10 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 pays 10,000.
That it does.
All right, so that's a nice little quad box there. Again, we have USC money line, LSU minus 8.5, Clemson minus 12.5, Florida plus 7.5. Take it to the bank. Man, that's a really good one. I like that a lot, Alex. I really do. Okay. So any early plays? Week 7 early plays.
No.
You have Clemson.
Okay, yeah. Clemson. Yes.
That's the one bet you have so far.
Yes, I do have Clemson locked in. So yes. And I have Florida. I got them at plus 8.5 earlier in the week, but you can put me down for 7.5.
No, it's fine. I'll tweet it out today. Everyone follow as much as you can to get those early numbers because every point obviously matters, like we saw in the fucking Nebraska Michigan State game. Okay, I have mine because I don't think we talked about it, Alex, but there is 49 straight days of college football and NFL football, just American football starting today through basically Thanksgiving. And did you know if we just doubled $1 49 straight days, it would be 2.2 trillion?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I wonder who would be taking our $2 trillion or our $1 trillion bet on Western Kentucky over on the Tuesday.
Incredible.
No, that would be how about a sweat to get to a billion on day 29? You would be betting 500 million to get to a billion.
Yeah, a little bit of a sweat. No big deal.
My chance to get my first Billy is just on Delaware versus Missouri State.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
Already tweeted out that first day doubling. We are going to try and double the play for at least a little latter, like 8 to 10 days, probably just a week. We'll do 7 days. Day 1 today was Liberty minus 1.5. So I'm on that, but that's when we're recording. So it's useless to put it on this graphic and card. Tomorrow, ugly. I like Louisiana Tech, Kennesaw State under 46.5. And then Tulane minus 6.5. This is a play off of, there's some sharp money on ECU. This is at Tulane. This is from earlier in the season. We said Caden Hauser, fade as often as possible. Fade Michigan State quarterbacks. I won't fall for it again. The Bayou Jew is going to dominate here. And then USF, North Texas. I like the under 67. I also like USF. We talked about at the top of the show. So those are the midweek plays. Saturday card's a little just more leans right now. I have the final card. Lean Ohio State minus 14. Lean Missouri money line. Lean Texas Oklahoma under. Michigan State over 31.5 team total. And USC Michigan under. And then my one play I already have for the week is Pitt FSU, which has already gone up 1 point. I have them in at 56.5. So grab them 57. Played up to 59.5.
Yeah, love it. This week I'll be in New York City. I'm heading there tomorrow.
Oh, hell yeah.
Got
That's
a
where City of Angels, right?
yes. 20th.
It's Los Angeles.
Yeah, I figured you're going somewhere with that. But yeah, 20th work anniversary for the company that I work for. So got a little party tomorrow night. And then Nikki decided that we should make a weekend out of it. So I'll be in New York City till Monday.
Concrete jungle, what mayor's made of.
So I am not expecting to watch damn near any football on Saturday. I mean, we're going to a Broadway show. you know, we're touring the different sites. So
And that's why everyone tail the pro and just what is it? Entertain the Joe.
I'll take that one on the chin. Yeah.
I see him Broadway plays when the Red River rivalry is going on. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Facts.
apologize for him. Yikes. Everything he just said, now I feel like it's a lie.
So yeah, that's where I'll be. Eagles Giants tomorrow, Thursday night football in the Meadowlands. Hell, I could sneak out of the company party and
Whoa.
fucking go to the game.
Hey, yo. Hey, go Birds. You're going to be on them in the Pick'em contest, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I agree. All right, have a great time in New York. Folks, let's have a great week 7. Boy, is it a fucking juicy card. I'm going to have my juicy card posted on Friday. Meet me in the live show. Had more patrons in this last Friday. So look forward to seeing more of you there. And I will release the podcast on time this week on Spotify. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys.
Love you.